Good day po teachers! Welcome back po dito sa Learning Pal kung saan po tayo nag-share ng latest DepEd news and updates and free learning resources. So ngayon nga po, pag-uusapan po natin kung paano po tayo makakakuha ng 7 sa ating classroom observation para po mataas po yung ating makuha na rating. So una po is, babalik po tayo dun po sa rubric, no? Kung paano po tayo i-assess ng ating mga observer. So, based po to dun sa Performance Management and Evaluation System or PMES for proficient teachers. So, ito po yung rubric na gagamitin. So, ang hangad po natin ay makakuha po tayo ng 7, which is the highest points. Dahil sa part po na to ay the teacher uses well-connected pedagogical aspects of the indicator to create an environment that addresses individual and group goals. So, yan po yung ating objective mo. Makakuha po ng pinaka-highest na point. Yan po yung 7. So, paano po tayo makakakuha ng 7 na rating? So, syempre po, kailangan po ma-demonstrate po natin yung bawat PPST indicator objectives dun po sa kanyang pinakamataas na point. Yun po yung 7. So, for example po, applies knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. So, para po tayo maka-7, dapat po ay makikita po rin dito na the teacher applies high-level knowledge of content and pedagogy that creates a conducive learning environment that enables an in-depth and sophisticated understanding of the teaching and learning process to meet individual or group learning needs within and across curriculum content areas. And then sa baba po, mapapansin po natin yung features of practice. So ano po ba yung na-expect na makita sa atin? Now, the teacher applies extensive knowledge of content beyond his or her area of specialization. And number 2, the teacher motivates learners to investigate the content area to expand their knowledge and satisfy their natural curiosity. So, paano po ito ma-achieve teachers? So, magbibigay po ako ng concrete examples on how to integrate this and how to apply this para po lumabas. Practice na to, ito po sa ating PPSD objective, no? So, punta po tayo sa aking presentation. So, para po ma-apply yung knowledge of content within and across the curriculum teaching areas, example po natin, let's say po sa Science and Math, when teaching force and motion, integrate mathematical formulas for speed and acceleration. So, papapansin po natin, meron pong science, meron din pong mathematics. So, that is yung content across no curriculum teaching areas. So, sa curriculum ng science, saka po sa curriculum ng math, in-apply po natin yung ating knowledge. And then, pwede rin po sa English and Social Studies po, no? So, let's say, discuss po ng historical events. So, that's Social Studies. Ang mga students naman po ay gagawa po ng reflective. Apply naman po yung English. Okay po? So, clear po tayo dyan, teachers. So, next po is yung ating objective ay sa rating po. So, makita po natin dito is ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. So, highlight ko po itong positive use, no? Dahil very important po yan. So, paano po natin yan may implement? So, dito po, sa example ko po is, for example, you can use po animation of the solar system. That's part of information and communication technology instead of describing planetary orbits. So, animation, that's an ICT technology. Then, yun din po, gumamit po tayo ng mga different educational applications like Kahoot, no? For quick and formative assessment on grammar rules. So, nag-apply po tayo ng technology dun po sa ating lesson. Then, next po is, ito pong use research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning to enhance professional practice. So, paano po kaya yan, no? So, pwede po tayong gumamit ng think, pair, share strategy to encourage discussion and peer learning. So, ito pong think, pair, share ay isa pong research-based knowledge and based sa principles na ma-enhance po yung ating teaching and learning practice, no? And then, pwede rin po tayong gumamit ng use space repetition for vocabulary learning by reviewing words over several weeks instead of one-time memorization. So, mag-isip po tayo ng strategy, ng teaching strategy na based po, no, sa mga theories of learning, no, dahil yan po ay research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning. Okay po. So, next po tayo na objective. Use a range of teaching strategies that enhance learner achievement in literacy and numeracy skills. So, paano po natin yan mapapalabas sa ating demonstration or classroom observation? So, pwede po tayo gumamit ng storyboards to summarize short stories. So, yung paggamit po ng storyboard, teaching strategy for literacy. And then, for numeracy po, ano pong teaching strategy yung pwede po nating magamit para po ma-enhance yung kanilang numeracy skills? Okay, so example po is use real-life budgeting activities where students calculate the total expenses for a family meal. So, examples lang po yan. Pero in our lesson, hanap po tayo ng part kung saan po pwede natin ma-develop yung kanilang numeracy skills. Okay, next po is yung effective communication strategies, PPST indicator 1.7.2. Okay, sabi po rito, use effective verbal and non-verbal classroom communication para i-support yung learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. So, ano pong mga pwede po natin gamitin na verbal and non-verbal classroom communication? So, dito po we classroom communication. So, dito po we can ask the students to thumbs up if they understand the lesson or thumbs down kung meron po silang kailangan na clarification. For verbal communication, pwede po tayo magbigay ng clear step-by-step instructions when demonstrating a science experiment. Okay po? So, that's a verbal, no, classroom communication to help learners for their engagement, no, for their participation in the science experiment po. Next po is the supportive learning environment. So, ang kailangan po dito ay ma-nurture natin, ma-inspire ng ating learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. So, dito po, again, we can use a teaching strategy or we can assign a peer body groups where students help each other. So, we can look for our advanced student to help their classmates. For naman po participation, we can ask the students for yung mga classroom jobs. For example po is note taker, timekeeper to give students a sense of responsibility. So, meron po silang mga roles dun po sa ating gagawing classroom demonstration. Next po is apply a range of successful strategies that maintain learning environment that motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learner. So, dito po is meron po tayo example using goal setting, no? So, pwede pong yung students mag-create ng personal learning goals and track their progress using a chart. So, pwede po yan. And then, pwede po tayo magkaroon ng gamification, no? Para mag-team learners wherein we give a point system na kapag ang students natin ay nag-participate, nagpakita ng good behavior, or the group itself may magandang performance, we can give points. So, pag ganyan po may point system, that's, ang strategy po dyan ay gamification. we try to gamify our lesson, yung ating activity. Next po is design, adapt, and implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talent. So actually, napaka-challenging po ito, no? Dahil, alam naman po natin na medyo mahirap po ito kasi kailangan po natin gumamit ng differentiated instruction. So, kung meron po tayong students na may disability, we can provide audio recordings of lessons for visually impaired students. Kung meron naman po tayong gifted students, we can offer advanced challenges where they research behind the basic curriculum. So, sa mga meron po tayong mga challenge problem or challenge activity na pwedeng ibigay sa ating mga advanced students. Next po is yung ating supporting learners in difficult circumstances. So, paano po natin matutulungan yung ating mga students with teaching strategies po para po yung mga special educational needs of learners in difficult circumstances po, no? So, example po for geographically isolated students. So, meron po tayong mga students na not in our class, meron pong sakit, or meron pong mga may case, so pwede po tayo magbigay ng modular learning. And then, sa mga po natin, displaced learners, we can offer flexible submission or deadlines for students affected by natural disasters. So, we can adjust po on my examples po, teachers, kung ano pong applicable sa ating lessons, ano pong meron sa atin. So, we can deviate from this as long as we satisfy po yung ating PPSD indicator objectives. Next po is yung ating relevant learning program. So, adapt and implement learning programs that ensure relevance and responsiveness to the needs of all learners. So, example po sa science, so we can relate climate change to our local environmental issues in our community. Sa math naman po is pwede po tayo magturo ng percentages for real-life context like computing discounts in grocery shopping. So, in our lesson, we try to adapt, ano ba yung nangyayari sa ating paligid para maging responsive and relevant to our learners. So, ito pong mga PPSD indicator, we can hit all of this in our lesson para hindi po part by part po, no? Siyempre, dahil napakarami po ito. So, pwede po isang strategy, sakop na po yung iba pong mga PPSD objectives. Ito po, community engagement, maintain learning environments that are responsive to community context. So, meron po itong relationship kanina sa number 10. So, have students interview community elders about local traditions and present their findings. So, organize a school gardening project where students apply their science lessons. Then, for professional growth and ethics. So, pwede po tayo mag-attend ng regular training on differentiated instruction technology integration. Maintain fairness by using rubrics for grading instead of subjective assessment. So, alam naman po natin na applicable po sa atin yan dahil lagi po natin na-apply yung rubrics po. Meron po tayo palagi mga rubrics. And then training sa mga different like DepEd, NAEP, and other mga agencies that related to our profession. School policies and stakeholders. So, alam ko na po, lahat po tayo dito ay halos makaka-relate dahil meron po tayong parent-teacher conference. Kapag may mga students po tayong kailangan ng intervention. And then, enforce the anti-bullying policy by addressing reports of bullying immediately and other issues. Okay? So, yun lang po itong examples ko para po ma-hit natin yung mga PPSD objectives at makakuha po tayo ng pinakamataas na score na 7. So, if you have any questions, please write down lang po yan sa ating comment section. And if you want to have a copy of my presentation, ilagay nyo lang po yan sa ating comment section. And don't forget po to subscribe and hit the notification bell para updated po tayo pag meron po tayo mga latest videos about DepEd. Yun lang po at maraming salamat.